Last mission. Final boss mode.
Oh man! So we also have one more card on ESPN. Ooh.
More?
Yeah, more. Yes, and this one is kind of like this has a feel like a losers leaves town type of ass match, like you see in wrestling.
Like honestly, it's the most meaningful fight of the weekend. I know the first fight was the Her Story history, whatever, but this one really has that meaningful, like, yeah, you know, one of y'all lose, we taking you back outside, you get shot in the head or some shit. Like, that's the vibe it has on this one, like a horse battle or some shit.
Right. You know, and of course the fight I'm talking about is Jesse Hart versus Joe Smith Jr. This is an intriguing light heavyweight because, as you know, light heavyweight is what we like to call, like, it's a real niggas division. Like, you know, it's a dangerous division. Like, you know, it's like you don't fuck around. If you're a light heavyweight, you're not fucking around in that division. So, you have Jesse Hart, who spent the majority of his career at 168, and then he moved up in his last fight against Sullivan Barrera, which was not the most entertaining fight in the world, to put it lightly.
Nah, fuck all that shit was trash.
Thank you. we speak our mind here. That fight was so fucking struggle. My goodness. It felt like it was a while ago too. What else was on that card? Like,
was that the main event?
Was that the main event?
Oh no, that was the undercard to Tyson Fury Schwartz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that fight was more exciting than that.
Yeah, that fight was lit. Like, it shouldn't have happened, but you know, it was a good dope 2 rounds.
Exactly, and Jesse Hart did not. He won, but he didn't necessarily make me think, oh, okay, this nigga's ready for to make a run at light heavyweight. You know, Sullivan Barrera is a good fighter, but it was just like, if the win needed to be a lot more cleaner than it was.
Yeah, like he needed this. Like,
at this point, Sullivan at this point is washed, and dude struggled with a washed. Dude struggled with a washed Barrera. Like,
yes.
that was there for the taking. Don't tell me, like, he's not going to compete with any of these fucking light heavyweights. Jesse.
Thank you. Like this wasn't Alfredo Angulo turning the time back with Quillen. If Barrera would have had that level of effort, then we wouldn't give Hart such a hard time. But like King P said, Barrera was fucking washed. And he struggled. Can't do that in that type of level. Like, no. If the person washed is not got out the Lazarus chamber and he going all out on your ass, then you can't have an excuse like, well, nigga, he was washed.
Oh man, so yeah, and then of course he's facing Joe Smith Jr. Now Joe Smith Jr. Jumped on the scene about 3.5 years ago on a PBC card. Ooh. Where he scored a mean upset of Andrew Fonfara, where he knocked him out in 1 round.
Now there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
And you probably never hear it again unless on a Forgotten Fate article, because Fonfara retired last year.
Yeah, he did.
So shout out to our Polish fam out there.
Exactly.
Fonfara had a pretty decent career, gave us a lot of entertaining fights and dope moments.
Yeah,
that he did. But Joe Smith Jr. went from there to facing the legendary execution of Bernard Hopkins in his final fight, in which Joe Smith, of course, scored a highlight reel knockout.
He's Howard. Yeah, he ain't even use up all the tokens. Like he got him on the first run through. Like, damn, okay.
Yeah, I know. He was out of there, he out of the ring and in the bushes. And then falling from that one, I mean, he was on a streak, and then of course he also faced Sullivan Barrera too, and he looked like he even knocked him down in round 1. And I remember thinking to myself, God damn, Joe Smith Jr. is really doing it. Like I was like, what the fuck?
Like he legit hits hard, bro.
Yeah.
But then of course he ended up losing that fight by decision and getting his jaw busted. So he was out for like a year, and then he came back, and then his last time out, and this was also like 10 months ago, which I was there for, which he lost widely to Dimitri Bivol, although he did have a moment where he did wobble Bivol just like seconds before the bell.
It was like late in the fight.
Like mere seconds. I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, he's hurt. It's just like, I was like, okay, that's what it is. So you can never count out Joe Smith Jr. Like boxing wise, he's straight. I mean, he's not the most technical boxer in the world, but dude just hits like a ton.
Yeah, dude, I consider him a overachiever because, like, I know people that know Joe Smith and have sparred with him in the gym in Long Island, and they've all told me like that he's gotten his ass beaten plenty of times in sparring. So nobody expected him to do what he's done. So, I mean, I'm not shitting on Joe. I'm actually giving him props.
Yeah. I mean, because I know prior to that, I mean, he wasn't like, he does like construction shit. Like he wasn't a full-time boxer. I mean, of course, me, like, if we're training, like, I'm a huge proponent of like functional stuff like functional exercises that'll build up your strength, and nothing will build up your strength more than doing construction. So I mean, that could probably be the source of this guy's power. You do that shit, and bam, you have all the power in the world. I mean, he has 20 knockouts and 24 wins. So, I mean, yeah, dude has steel in his fist.
He hurts everybody he fights pretty much.
Yeah.
Some people he can't finish, but he's gotten 2 of them out of there. So the power real, and he's hurt others. So
yeah, like I said, I mean, all his main fights. Like I mean, if you're careless. And this is what makes the Jesse Hart fight intriguing, because Jesse Hart has a lot of lapses, especially late in the fight. He has a lot of
lapses, gaps, holes, flaws.
Nigga doesn't even tuck in his chin. Like
yeah, that's another thing too. So
slaps with his punches sometimes, loops them, and clinch for no reason. Those uppercuts from 6 feet away.
Yeah.
He fights like a poor man, great value version of like all the elite boxers' mistakes. Okay. I mean, I know, I'm a Hamed fan, shout out Prince Nassim, I'm a Roy Jones fan. I mean, shout out to Roy Jones Jr. But, you're not supposed to be damn throwing uppercuts and hooks from 3 feet out.
Yeah.
Those 2 made it work, and they done damn brutalized people with that shit where it wasn't fair. Like, it's like a video game boss in real life doing some fucked up shit. You're like, God damn, how you do that?
Yeah,
so Hart does it way worse to his point. Like, how the fuck is he trying to even do it, like, from 6 feet?
Yeah. So, I mean, and you cannot do that. Like, if you do that and you miss against Joe Smith Jr., you're just leaving yourself open for a brutal counter from him. And I do mean brutal. And like, honestly, like I said, this is the fight that if Hart really wants to make a statement in this fight, he has to be one-sided, and he has to lay an absolute whooping on Joe Smith Jr. for me to think. And the funny thing is, I don't think he has that in him. I think he's going to get clipped in this fight. Joe Smith will find his chin, because like King said,
it's not exactly hard to find. Nigga doesn't even tuck it in. He's gonna be right out there for him. You might as well like fucking just point at the chin all day. Like just point at it. Yeah.
And it's funny how we kind of got at Munguia for, you know, being target practice for certain fighters and how dudes tee off on him. But Jesse Hart, like, for the way he fights, I'm surprised he hasn't gone through a Munguia stretch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, my goodness, like in the Ramirez fights were winnable fights for him.
Yeah, I mean, and they were exciting. And they were, they were exciting fights too. The first one was
that's the sad part.
Yeah, and Ramirez doesn't have too many exciting fights. Those two those were on point and close. You know, but
he needs to win this because like he went up there to fight him again for the third time.
Right. You know, so yeah, I mean, that's why I say like this. That's why I said this like losers leave talent matchup. Like, I mean, you can see like whoever wins this fight obviously will stay in line for some sort of future shot. The other one, you know, it'll be a setback. They'll probably have to start from square one. I mean, Joe Smith Jr., like I said, I mean, he's already lost to Bivol and Barrera, so I mean, a loss will probably put him in the middle of the road instead of like maybe a top, you know, instead of. I mean, right now he's like a fridge contender if you want to call him that. Yeah, you have to, you know, I mean, I don't know where you go if he lost decisively to Jesse Hart.
Back to construction.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, because then it's like if you can't, the only way he has to really, his career on the line, or at least a payday on the line. If he doesn't really put hands and make this a knockdown, drag-out fight where Jesse Hart earns it, and earns it because he has to dig deep or he just does things a little better than you, not where, you know, you're so washed and you so trash, you know, Hart just is less trash than you, and you're like, okay, we watched a trash fight. if he ends up like y'all have a good fight and, you know, you put it out there and he put it out there and it's like, okay, and he wins, okay, so be it. But then you'll be used, you can run it back or you fight another name. But if you just get wiped out, 7-Up skunked, shit, no one's gonna want to pull your name out the hat again. Are you gonna be used on some PBC matchmaking shit? Right.
So guys, how do you actually see this fight going? How do you think this fight will go between Jesse Hart and Joe Smith Jr.?
Joe Smith by KO.
Damn, he took mine. I was gonna say that too. I don't think Jesse Hart is gonna be perfect enough to just go through a whole fight and then not get touched.
He's gonna get clipped, and he's gonna get clipped early. Honestly, to me, he's gonna get clipped really early.
I could see that too. I was gonna say like around like 7. I feel like he's gonna bullshit his way enough to maybe make it go somewhere. He'll get hurt before that, but I can see him get stopped even earlier than that. But I'll say Joe Smith KO 7 rounds.
Shit, this could go as little as I could see a fucking KO happening in the 3rd round, but I'm gonna say KO. I'm gonna say KO in 5, 5th round knockout.
Shit, I can see a 1st round knockout. So I can see just.
I wasn't even gonna fucking go that far.
I mean, I can imagine Jesse Hart. I mean, he'll do his thing and then he'll get bold and, you know, try to go after him and then keep his shit in the air and then walk into one of Joe Smith's like left hooks.
Yeah, you know? And then we won't have no Teddy Atlas to really be going crazy like, oh my God, you made the mistake. You paid the price of a fighter.
Yeah, because I mean, when Jesse Hart gets hurt, it takes him a while to recover, and I just and
it's always like impactful. It's like some epic shit when he get hurt. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. So I mean, I can see. So pretty much, I'm thinking Jesse Hart will lose by KO, probably by 3 or 4.
Pick one.
Okay, by the 3rd round.
Okay.
3rd round, 3-5. Damn, 357. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not. I mean, it's not like Jesse Hart doesn't have some skills. He does, but he has a lot of flaws that he has not corrected enough.
Yeah, he's more technically sound than Jesse Hart.
Yeah. No, you mean more technically sound with Joe Smith? You mean?
No, I think Joe Smith is more technically sound than Jesse Hart.
Well, he's more patient. Yeah, he's more patient. I would say that.
He still look more technically sound. Like Jesse Hart, I don't know what he be doing sometimes.
Well, I mean, Jesse Hart is a Philly fighter too. Philly fighters do their own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he has some of the Philly style down, but them niggas just be doing their own thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sometimes they make up things as they go.
Yeah, it's not working out too well for him.
Yeah.
But but like I said, it is possible that Jesse Hart could rise to the occasion, because I know the biggest motivation for Jesse Hart is to actually become a world champion, because his father, Cyclone Hart, Eugene Cyclone Hart, was one of boxing's like 100 greatest punchers as well, but he never won a belt because he fought in a more brutal era of fighting, especially in the like middleweight era, in the 60s and 70s, or 70s, I should say. So I know it's his thing. I know it's his thing to actually become a champion, because his father never became a champion, although he came close on a couple of occasions. So yeah, I mean, but I just don't think I honestly think that him facing Joe Smith Jr. was probably not the best matchmaking. Whoever is on Hart's team, but hey,
that's perfect matchmaking. Shit to get off the pot, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's perfect. It gives Joe Smith a chance to redeem himself, and it gives Jesse Hart a chance to solidify himself. So I don't know. It's really who wants it more. Who's gonna fuck up less?
Yeah. Facts. And of course, like I said, this will be on regular ESPN. Thank goodness. I mean, I don't think it's on ESPN 2.
Or the dreaded ESPN Plus.
Ooh.
Oh man, and it's in Atlantic City. Atlantic City. I mean, I probably would have decided to go to that, but driving to Atlantic City is like a pain in the butt. And plus, Atlantic City is kind of pretty run down and shitty too.
Damn.
Yeah,
bottom of the barrel fight.
Well, Atlantic City used to be the shit. I mean, they opened the Hard Rock Live over there, which is why it's only because it's a new venue. But Atlantic City is like pretty run down. It has a lot of old ass hotels, and like the beach is kind of worn down. You have a lot of the prostitutes who get down there. I've been in that area, just some random shit. So it's not pleasant. But hey, I mean, if this is a step to get Atlantic City to get back to what it used to be as a boxing hotbed, so be it.
You gotta start somewhere sometimes.
Exactly.
And if the fight delivers, then hey, then it help it. Then you don't think about Atlantic City put on a good fight and start the year off. So hey,
exactly.
I ain't mad at you.
Like I said, I mean, light heavyweight is a division that very rarely disappoints when it comes to making entertaining fights, entertaining brutal fights at that. So, yep. So yeah, you can probably catch that.
Always start out the year right.
What's that?
Light heavyweight always start out the year right.
Exactly. And let's say if there's a chance for a fade, that's that fight. So
I mean, there's always a chance for a fade when you're talking about 175.
If it goes to a decision, that means it was either a unbelievably brutal fight, or one or two fighters were lunching and decided that they didn't give a fuck that night. So yeah, can't wait for that fight. Yeah, I'd say that'll probably be the fight of the weekend for sure, like LB says.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of our show for tonight.
Damn, that's the end. Like that's it. Like it felt like everything just kind of like went too fast.
Yeah, for 3 cards. I mean, that's
no boxing news, nothing y'all got no news, no new like.
Boxing news has actually been pretty slow.
Damn.
I mean, besides like fights that you're hearing may or may not get announced, like I'm groaning because I see that one Gervonta Davis' next fight will be on pay-per-view, and I immediately groaned because we already have enough pay-per-view fighters as is. We don't need another one.
PBC, stop with the pay-per-view. Why? It's not even like we're getting like a bona fide pay-per-view fighter. We're talking about Tank, who's an unknown in the pay-per-view realm. Like, but Leo Santa Cruz though, he was on pay-per-view before.
It's one of those. Well, I mean, that's who Tank's. That would be Tank's pay-per-view opponent if that does come to fruition. Santa Cruz.
Had that in the Staples Center. Put a good undercard on it. Fox promoted, they'll do it. That shit could be. It shouldn't be pay-per-view though.
My final views. I mean, on that one is, in order for a pay-per-view to work, Tank would have to face a heavy hitter. That meaning someone of significance that people wanted him to face. No one wants to see him face fucking LFC.
Yeah, that's a random select mode.
And then
just call it what it is.
And then 2, the PPC matchmakers will have to either hire Don King as a consultant or someone who works on the GB matchmaking team to figure out how to make a fully loaded undercard. With the talent, so that and actually make it okay. So it can actually be worth paying $60 or $70 for to actually watch. I'm talking about pure heat. I'm not talking about no bullshit. I'm talking about pure heat on the undercard.
Well, see, that's the thing. You put pure heat, they're gonna be better than the main event.
Yeah, but of course, pay-per-view is supposed to. It can also build a star because that's one thing that has gone away from pay-per-views in the last, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years. Is you used to have certain people on undercards to fight, and then to expose them to a wider audience. I don't think that's happened for quite a while. I mean, I can't remember a fighter who was probably built off fighting on pay-per-view. Canelo might actually
perfect.
Might actually be the last one, the last real name fighter to actually do that.
And it's like you don't even have nobody else on the level beneath that.
Not close, yeah. Because it used to be like the established fighter was the pay-per-view draw, and then you try to make the pay-per-view on the card as lit as possible, so they can, so people can actually see them how they operate. But that's it. That's the thing of the past anymore. No one does that.
That's the thing. PBC been having good undercards, like on some of these pay-per-views. All of them except for fucking Spence Garcia.
Oh yeah, I mean Spencer Garcia was trash.
So they don't need to consult people. They're like a novice chess player, And there's chess on my mind because I started playing again, and it just they got all the dope pieces, but they don't know how to maximize them and use them. Like you trying to use the bishop like a queen. You're having the knight fight like a fucking pawn, like it's just a clusterfuck. So and they just gotta maneuver the pieces better and really get these fights going.
Exactly.
And in different divisions, like they got something good going at welterweight. They've been doing that. Last year, the only person who ain't really been on it at welterweight is Danny Garcia, but they trying to line him up for something bigger. So okay, I see that. But like y'all, they got other divisions that they could like put a little jump start in and go places with.
Yeah, but I don't see that happening.
I mean, they got super middleweight and light heavyweight. They could. I mean, well, they've been using light heavyweight all year. Like Pascal, I hope this nigga got like some extra stacks or a Christmas bonus or something.
It's just like, I don't even know what's going on. I mean, I've already made it quite clear that they need to do something like for the light heavyweights in there. They need to actually get up in the mix with the other light heavyweight champions to stop doing the interim shit. Because like that, because it doesn't mean a damn thing. Interim belt should not be defended in that fashion.
Whoa. You're asking too much of these organizations to give up their TV titles.
Yeah. Well,
you can't have a GameStop belt and don't play the game.
Exactly.
So let me ask y'all this: if Gervonta Davis was to get a pay-per-view fight, next fight, main event, and to justify the main event being pay-per-view, like who would he have to fight? Like, who would you think he should be in there with? Where you're like, yeah, I can see them making this a pay-per-view. It's right. Yeah, what is it?
A Lomachenko fight.
Yeah,
realistic.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Because Lomachenko's already scheduled to fight Teofimo, so that's not happening. Who's not doing anything? I mean, if you want to bring up Tevin Farmer, but yeah, no, that's not realistic.
Yeah, because we don't even know. Because this is the thing. All these guys coming up, they're in fights that, they're like 50-50 fights.
Yeah, Devin Haney, that's not happening. It's not really, like all the people that I would want to see him in I would justify pay-per-view in, like.
And even then, Devin Haney and Tank, although that would be a great fight, that's not a pay-per-view fight.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no,
that's literally like you mean to tell me we got Bradley, Devin Alexander on regular HBO?
Yeah,
we gonna get pay-per-view Tank?
Yeah, I mean, outside of Lomachenko, there's no one at 135 that's justified enough that you put him as a B-side to a pay-per-view. And
Lomachenko has to beat Lopez, and I don't think that's going. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Every day it's like I think Loma could win, then I think Lopez could win. So, yeah, that's not a given for either one.
Yeah.
So
Ryan Garcia is not happening. That's not really.
Yeah, that's like he has a fight schedule. I think with Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So who's
and he got a main event. Like Ryan Garcia hasn't been matched in a way where.
I don't know. Linares.
Nah, man. Like Ryan Garcia ain't no pay-per-view fight for Tank either. Like,
yeah, I know. It's like
he got a main event first of all, and he got to fight like some bigger events, like bigger names. Like,
yeah, I'm running out of people that I'm even like thinking of. Like, yeah, so that's a no.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much this is just concentrating on trying to build them up. Or if they don't want them on Showtime, move them to Fox or whatever, and then do.
Honestly, I think they skipping a step. Tank would blow up like even bigger if he fought Leo Santa Cruz on Fox at the Staples Center. Regular TV.
Yes, regular
Fox.
Keyword regular, not no damn PPV.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. They're skipping a step. Like I feel like his momentum could really benefit from the fight on regular TV now, because I feel like he's exhausted everything else. Like just throw him on regular TV and just really see if he could get 6 million viewers or 4 million viewers. And if he could do that without even getting a 50-50 fight, where it's not a Thurman Porter, Thurman Garcia, then because he would still be the favorite over Leo Santa Cruz, but Cruz has enough of a career, even though it's a random select mode career, and it drags on like a damn Netflix series that you just didn't want to continue after the third season. At least he has enough where you could kind of promote it. Like, he has wins. He's more notable names. You know, a bigger story. Like, Garcia hasn't done enough. Hasn't main evented really. You know, Haney hasn't really fought anybody. You know, so I see the angle they're going, but they're making a mistake by doing it on pay-per-view. I feel like Tank's fight after that could be pay-per-view if it's the right opponent.
Right.
But don't skip the step. Like, he would do crazy ratings, man. The Mexican fans, oh, dude. The urban fans, and you promote it. It would be what Spence Garcia would have been, but a better fight.
Facts.
Like, I don't know why they fucking skipping that step, man. Like, chill. Like, but I digress.
It's either that or they really want to try to get as much money from him because, you know, the Tank's habits. You know, that.
Yeah, makes me wonder. Like, are they putting him on the damn, like, the speed up plan? Like they putting him on like the accelerated Broner plan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he ain't even reached Broner level yet. Although he got the you know. He got the buzz, like he got the bigger name and everything now, and Broner getting his name out there for the wrong reasons and shit.
Right.
But like Tank don't have enough substance in his career yet, man. But y'all trying to put him to pay-per-view so early. Like if y'all would sort of should been trying to get him on that damn undercard for Fury Wilder.
Exactly, because I mean that's a joint. I mean. Because they have not announced the undercard yet, because it's supposed to be a three fight card, one card from PPV, the other card from Top Rank, and they have not announced any of that yet, and that would have probably been perfect for all that.
See, they wilding with that, man.
Well, I mean, of course, that's partially because, you know, the other thing, I mean, Tank, you know, in his last fight with Gamboa, you know, he did get touched up a little bit. So, I mean...
Whose fault was that? He wasn't supposed to get fucking touched up.
No, he wasn't.
Damn. Let me fight some nigga I'm supposed to beat up. Shit.
Yeah, don't rush Tank. Tank just needs better opponents, but he does not need a pay-per-view at this point. Does not need a pay-per-view at all.
And if he loses or struggles or whatever, like on pay-per-view, like bad look.
Yeah, incredibly bad look.
It's a guy like Leo Santa Cruz who keeps throwing punches and could take a good shot. I know he's a smaller guy, but I'm just saying.
Never know.
Yeah, it's one of those you don't know.
You don't know.
I would risk it for like regular TV though. Enough with the fucking blood clot pay-per-views. We gonna have a Caleb Plant versus Caleb Smith pay-per-view crossover. Yo, one thing I'll say this, when we could close this out, because I know we didn't said enough about this fight, but the shit you mentioned about Wilder and Fury and how Top Rank getting the fight and PBC getting the fight. I was having a conversation with Roman the other day, and he was talking about like, yo man, like, yeah, you see all this shit on Twitter with, you know, everybody's taking sides with the companies. He's like, why don't these companies, like the promotional companies, when they do their fucking fights, why don't they face each other like on some gym shit or some team shit? And I'm like, you know what? You might be on to something, cause like in regular boxing that happens all the time. Like, you know, like when I've been in the gym, like the Miami gym will come up to damn Broward and, you know, we gotta fight them dudes and so, you know, just imagine, you know, you got Fury, you know, top ranks heavyweight, and you know PBC got Wilder, and then you mentioned one of their welterweights were against one of top ranks welterweights, or one of their lightweights against one of their lightweights.
Yeah, but
the main event.
Yeah, but like I said, it has to, you know, because some of these companies is like, unless it makes dollars, you know, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make dollars. So it's
I believe it would if you had a right fight, like just to try it as an experiment. I wouldn't fucking. You don't have to use the biggest name. Like you can have you guys fight somebody over there, like oh yeah, I forgot. Top Rank don't have any welters. But my bad. Fuck. You know what? You know what I'm talking about, man. They could pull that shit off if they wanted to, man. They could try it on a lower level and just promote it like that, because everybody loves picking sides and shit, man. You see?
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, like, this is boxing in the new era of boxing. Like instead of standing fighters, they stand entities, which is
may as well make money off of that shit.
Right, which is odd as fuck to me.
You want to cheerlead for Top Rank? You know, have Top Rank fighters fight some PBC fighters on the card.
Right.
You want to cheerlead for PBC? The winner take all. Like, you know, the bragging, like, you know, those social media will just explode if one side wins the night.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing Twitter will just implode, my nigga.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter even if the fight was on point or was dope or whatever. It's like, haha, you know, quote unquote fighter lost, so the whole promotion lost. You know, that type of shit.
Yeah, like, bruh, like that should have been, bruh. Just like people would really be looking forward to the next one. I'm telling you, man. Like sometimes you just hear the random ideas, man. Like. And you just know, like, damn, that's done right. That shit could do something. I think that could be something.
Could be. Well, like I said, I mean, right now it's just a pipe dream.
Damn, too many of those in boxing.
Yeah, way too many. Oh man, but yeah, dude. Pete, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah. New year, new boxing. Let's hope for some good boxing. Let's hope to start off the weekend right, and hopefully it's a sign of better things to come, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So the first impression this year is basically how my mood is going to be. So let's go.
LB, you got any final thoughts?
Ring Gang Radios, the Army, the Navy, the label, the crew, the gang. But nah, y'all just make sure y'all just keep coming back to ringgangradio.com. We got new articles, the podcast, all of that artwork. Y'all follow us, even on YouTube. You know, subscribe. At the end of the videos, I know you'll see the page where all our Twitters, our Instagrams, so you could get our opinions on shit and just be a part of the Ring Gang family. You know what I mean? Tunnel Gang album gonna be dropping real soon, so y'all be on the lookout for that, and more highlights and videos and shit from Prolific and the remixes and all that shit. Shout out to the whole Ring Gang crew. GOAT Artist album on Spotify. Y'all know what it do. Romantic out there as well. Ring Gang.
Yeah. Word. So I mean, my final thoughts are, I mean, was hopefully in 2020. Like the 2019 was a good year for fights. We'll end up, with some real super fades, which will go into detail. Our superlatives. On a future podcast, most likely tomorrow or sometime this week. But yeah, let's hopefully continue to turn 2020. More unifications, more fights between top contenders, top champions. Let's try to prove upon the fight of the years. let's try to build some stars. Because boxing only survives with stars. You gotta build them, people. Like promoters, all that. You gotta make sure you gotta make this shit work. But yeah, of course I'm excited. Hopefully, obviously go to more boxing cards than I did last year. And yeah, just keep it moving. Ring Gang forever. Check the site, read the articles, YouTube, subscribe, Podomatic, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, all that. I mean, all stuff is on there. So just keep listening, keep supporting what we do, and we appreciate each and every one of you. So for myself, Patscorpio, the New England representative, for LB, Shutterworth da Gawd, GOAT artist, for King P, Bodega P. This was another wonderful episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. So, till next time, peace.